A veteran from Clay County has carried a secret since World War II. Just yesterday, Staff Sergeant John Mace was finally able to share his 70-year-old news. Ross Rawlings steps off the beaten path.
Patriotism on display outside the American Legion in Bloomington, Indiana. Just a pretty day in early spring for most, but for World War II veteran John Mace, it's a day he's had on his mind for decades.
I've been wanting to do this after I got out of service after World War II was over.
You see, Staff Sergeant Mace fought alongside another soldier named Harry Kent. One cold January day in 1945, Kent shared exciting news that he'd become a father. Just days later, he was killed.
I was with him until the day of his death.
For more than 7 decades, Mace assumed that Kent's baby boy couldn't have known that his father did in fact know of his birth.
I'm so glad to meet you.
That's where Gary Kent comes in.
John had served with my dad and knew him well and had wanted to meet me for a long, long time.
2 weeks ago, Gary Kent knew nothing about John Mace. Suddenly, he found himself listening to stories about the father he never got to know.
Your dad was a good man.
Moments of history shared in front of our eyes.
Sergeant Galambewski was our first sergeant.
History of the war.
Eisenhower sent orders to General Patton.
History of our country, and history that had been on John Mace's mind for longer than 70 years.
Would you have been near him on the battlefield the day he was killed?
I was about 12 feet from him.
A revelation.
You got a telegram that said you was born on the 12th.
He got that?
He got that telegram. That's what I've been for all these years. I wanted to be.
All the newspaper accounts said that they didn't know whether he had learned.
Yes, he got the telegram, and he got killed the next day.
A moment frozen in time.
I mean, this just blows my mind. To think here I am, 71 years old, and I'm suddenly talking to a guy that was 12 feet from my dad when he was killed.
A 71-year-old son taking in a first-hand account of the day his dad died in battle, and a member of the greatest generation completing one last mission.
I'd like to give you a picture of my dad.
Would you like to have that?
I would.
John, thank you so much.
Mission complete. In Bloomington, Indiana, with Chief Photojournalist Mike Latta, Ross Rawlings, News 10.